So I keep on looking, and then there's another like scuff mark, maybe like a few feet over. And then right in the corner of the room is a pile of with toilet paper on top of it.
And I posted a picture with my nephew, and he goes, "I want to give you a baby."
Tell us about the experience and how did it go down? Like from start to finish, who was the person and then like what happened?
Yeah. So I was working with this client. He was a referral. Great guy, or so I thought. We got along really well, got the deal closed, and then he started adding me on all my socials. Typically not one to add clients on my social media unless I already know them. And I figured, what's the harm? So from then, he started inviting me on dates, sliding into the DMs, and then long story short, it was Christmas Eve, and I posted a picture with my nephew, and he goes, "I want to give you a baby."
No,
Yeah,
I hate that for you.
I've never blocked someone so quickly in my life.
You weren't like, give me a referral? No.
I never even like went on it. I never even entertained it.
That is...
I was very like, I don't date people that I've worked with.
Yeah. Well, okay, so you blocked them, and then has there been any like outreach since then? Like, has he tried to contact you that you know of?
Well, what's funny is he works for the city. He's a police officer. So I'm terrified that one day I might be driving and get pulled over by him.
No, yeah, I'd be terrified of that too. But that's kind of wild.
It happened on Christmas Eve.
Oh yeah, that's right. It did happen on Christmas Eve.
I deleted the photo with me and my nephew, and I deleted him off all my socials.
Yeah.
What's your crazy story?
I was showing my client a few investment properties, and this was like during the winter time. So if you're not familiar, when you have a house or a property that's vacant, you need to what's called winterize the home. So you have to shut off the water, make sure that there's no water in the pipes or in the house at all, because if there's not like running heat or anything, obviously you'll have a huge mess of water in the house when the pipes eventually freeze and then burst.
Right.
I had like maybe 3 or 4 showings set up, and we're on like our second to last one. And we walk in the house, we're checking out the rooms, and the home is winterized. We go into one of these rooms and like walking around. It's a little bit dark, it's winter time, so we have like a flashlight going on. So I'm looking at the room, I'm looking at the walls, and I see like this stuff smeared like across the wall. So I was like, maybe it's just like a moving like mark. Maybe people were like carrying furniture out and they scuffed the wall.
Like a scuff.
Yeah, so I kind of go a little bit closer to it, and it's like, it's not a scuff. So I keep on looking, and then there's another like scuff mark, maybe like a few feet over. And then right in the corner of the room is a pile of shit with toilet paper on top of it. In the room, it's in the house.
On the floor.
It's on the floor.
Not even on, like in the bathroom?
No, not in the bathroom. There was no running water, so the toilet didn't work. And I wasn't curious to see whether or not somebody tried to use the toilet. I was just assuming that it probably was shit in the toilet. I left the toilet seat down, just because if I saw it in the room, then it's definitely probably gonna be in the toilet. So we decided that it was probably not gonna be the property for him. We don't know how dirty that the rest of the house is gonna be.
They didn't even like pick it up and like throw it out in like the trash can.
So it could have been somebody who was like maybe squatting in the home and broke in and then just did their business, but everything was kind of boarded up. So I had an inkling that it was a realtor. It had to be a realtor, right? Because like the doors were locked, the windows were closed, they're boarded up. The only person that has access to the property is like anybody with the code, which you're a realtor.
So speaking of winter and funny stories, this person is a relative, was not working with me at the time, but it was one of the coldest days of the year, a couple years ago. And she and her family no one was in the house that day. She was gonna turn off the heat in her house in winter and gone all day. She thought somehow she was going to return to her house and it'd be nice and toasty warm. And it took hours to warm up the house. So she posted it on Facebook. And that's when I just kind of like face palmed, because thank God her pipes did not burst.
Yeah.
Because she was a homeowner at the time. So that could have been a nightmare situation.
Dangerous move to like shut off the heat just to save you some money.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then only to return back and have potentially your home flooded with water.
Right.
That would have sucked. She got really lucky.
Yeah.
Like I turned down the heat, but to turn it off is crazy.